Today's video will be making a stylish kimono dress with a collar neck, and it will be a beautiful one because we'll be combining these three fabrics to make out this lovely dress. And now these two African fabrics, you can see the combination. This is red and gold, while this is gold and blue, and this will be the sleeve. Hello everyone, welcome to Elegant Fashion Tutorial. My name is Charles Space. Now let's get to the business. I'll be cutting it one after the other. I will not cut it together because each of these fabric is 1 yard, that is 36 inches. So I'll be cutting it separately and I'll place one to the other to cut in order to get accurate measurement. So I'll start with this. Firstly, you turn your fabric. This is the right side, you can see. So I'll turn it to the wrong side. We'll be taking the measurement now. The length is 45 inches, so we are okay with this material length. This is exactly 45 inches. So I'm okay with it. Now it will be a free dress, very free dress. So my hip measurement is 38 inches divided by 4 will give me 9.5. This is 9.5 inches. So I will add a lot of inches for me to get what I want. Now the down part, I want it to be 15 inches. This is 15 inches, so I will mark everything out the way you understand it. So the first thing I will mark out here will be my armhole. I'll be using 9 inches. This is 9 inches for my armhole. I swear 9 inches here. Now I'll mark for my waistline. My waistline is 17 inches. For my hips, I'm using 24 inches. Yeah. So we've gotten this. Now my shoulder measurement is 16 inches divided by 2 will give me 8 inches plus half inches, making it 8.5 inches. This is 8.5. Our swim mark 8.5 inches here. Okay, I connect the lines. Okay, you connect the lines. The next thing is the armhole line. Just take 2 inches away from this point. I connect it with my curved ruler. Okay. Now I'll remove half inch here. To make it a bit curved. To this point. To the main point here. Yes. Okay, now the next thing we'll be placing now will be the bust line. So to get the bust line, Just from your armhole, measure 2.5 inches here. Then here you place your bust measurement. My bust measurement is 37 inches divided by 4 will give me 9.2 inches. This 9.2 inches here. Because it's a free dress, I'll add 3 inches to it, or you can make it 3.5 depending on how you want it, but because of the bust here, I don't want it to be too free at the bust, and I'll mark 3 inches here. Now to the waistline, remember we measured from the shoulder line, we measured 17 inches to get the waistline. Now my waist measurement is 37 inches divided by 4 will give me 9 inches. So this 9 inches, and I'll mark 3.5 inches here. The hips, I measured 24 inches to get the hips. Now my hip measurement is 38 inches divided by 4 will give me 9.5 inches. .5 inches, and I'll be adding as well 3.5 inches to it. Then at the down part, I'll measure out. Remember what we have here at the hip is 13.2, so I'll be using 15 inches here. You can make it 14, depending on how free you want the down part to be. 14 inches. Okay. But by the time we join it, if you are to turn with lining, you know some inches will be going. So at the end, it may not be exactly that 14. It will reduce. So that's why I'm using it. Now we'll be connecting the lines together. From the bust line to the hips line, then to the down part. Because I told us it's a collar neck, I'm not going to cut it now. It will be later that will cut it. So now let's cut this one out. Remember, we've not placed our shoulder slope here. Is when I cut the two, then I will place the shoulder slope. So I will place it to cut the second piece. Now I'll place it on the second fabric. So I'll be cutting it now. So the next thing is the neckline. I'll be using 3.5 inches here, because I want to put the shoulder slope. Then I'll take 1 inch off. So I'll be cutting from this point to this point. stick. Now this is what we are having. So the next thing I will do now is to, from this center line, I have to cut them, divide them into two, each of them. Starting from the down part, I will cut it into two. While you're cutting, you make sure that all of them is aligned. Okay, I've gotten two pieces from this. So I'll keep it aside and do the same to the other one. Okay guys, you can see what we are having. Now what I'll do, I'll separate one from this and pick one from this. So I place the different fabric and put each one together to make out one piece. So we have placed this one, then I'll do the same to the second part. I'll also place this other one on top to make out one piece. So I will join these two pieces together. By the time I join it, this is what we'll be having. These two combination. I have not sewn it yet, but this is exactly what we'll be having. Now we are done with this. The next thing should be the sleeve. Now this is the sleeve and it will be kind of circled. Now I'll be cutting the two of them at the same time. Now I folded my material into 4. Then remember the armhole I used there is 9 inches. So I measured the round of that place. Now to get the circumference I will use for the armhole, I will measure this out. What I have here is 10 inches, approximately 10.5 inches. So that's what I'll be working with here, and I'll add allowance to it because I want it to be planted. Since we are having 10.5 inches there, so I'll just mark 3 inches here. Now we'll measure out from these 3 inches. Let's measure out what it will give us. Now I want to achieve the circumference of 20 inches. So I need 5 inches, so that 5 inches times 4 will give me 20. So I measure out here. You see I'm having 5 inches here, times 4 will give me 20. So what I use here is 2.8 inches. Now I measure it out. So I'm okay with this. Now the length, I'll work with this length. This is 11 inches here. Now mark 11 inches round. Now I will cut it. Okay. Before I open it up, I'll place it to the second one to cut. Now I place it on the second one to cut it out. Now I want to cut this armhole side. So I want to cut it out for it to be equal. This is chiffon. So when you are working with it, it can be given wrong dressing sometimes, but after sewing, you have to trim off the excess. That's why I use the measurement so that by the time I fold it, everything will rhyme. Now I cut it. Okay guys, remember this is a combination of 3 different fabrics put together, and I'll show you in my next video the details step by step on how to sew this particular beautiful dress. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, click on the bell icon to be notified anytime I publish another video. Drop your comment at the comment section. Thank you for watching. Bye.